All right, here we go. It wasn't a pretty day. I got to put the final exam grades in here. And I'm going to be honest with you, the hopium pimps and all the people that are just telling you what you want to hear so they can get clicks, they don't really have your best interest in mind. Now, me, on the other hand, I get to be a little bit of the Dolphins boogeyman, but I made a series of evaluations, fire breaks that could possibly derail this season. And every one of them wasn't crossed except for one, and that's Tua staying healthy. I said the offensive line, I said the inside run game, the ability to block long term, the ability to deal with short down conversions in the run game, and the ability to run the football in bad weather. They all failed. You were told, because we had 350 yards versus Denver and 220-something versus Giants. This run game, this offensive line was unbelievable. I'm sorry, Eichenberg. I'm sorry, Jackson. And we did end up with a great rushing total. But you know what? In the end, you could see it was a lot of smoke and mirrors. So I'm going to try to help you out to deal with the realities because my accuracy is extraordinarily high. And I don't want to make it about me, but what I'm hearing already means that Dolphin fans are going to be chasing ghosts again and putting the wrong guys up there and the wrong things up there. And we're never going to get anything fixed because the reality is I see right here, Dudley Do Wrong, great guy, real nice guy. I mean, you can't get no complaints about him as a person and a covered guy. Not only is Tua struggling in a big game, McDaniel play calling is not it. How about the offensive line, Dudley Do Wrong? How about that? Did you see Mahomes getting inside runs? Did you hear them saying Mahomes had all day to throw the football until Fangio had to send every single body to bring pressure? That is a major difference. Mahomes is a better quarterback than Tua. He's got a bigger arm. He's bigger. He's more mobile. And he has the better offensive line and run game. So wouldn't you think that a lesser quarterback, it is not to say Tua is trash, but the offensive line makes the NFL world go round. The inside run game is critical. This offense, I heard this over here, it's great, where is it? This is a funny one. Mike Daniels' play calling speak volumes of what he thinks about the QB. How about what he thinks about the offensive line? I mean, do you understand that the offensive line is why we throw? All we do is run edge runs, screens, pocket posts, and deep ball, and occasionally add some outs. But everything is peripheral. Why? Because we don't have an elite tight end. We don't have tight ends that can block. We don't have an offensive line that can run inside zone and bully guys when they need to or hold up past 2.35, 2.45 seconds like a lot of the rest of the league. If you listen, it has nothing to do whether McDaniel and Tua are the guys. NFL teams have won Super Bowls with subpar, par, and slightly above par quarterbacks. They've even won with average coaches. Look at the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s after Jimmy Johnson left. Bad coach, average coach, good college coach, but not a great coach. Look at Brad Johnson. Flaquito won too. There's a bunch of quarterbacks that were just slightly above average that won Super Bowl. But there is not one Super Bowl that has ever been won with a subpar offensive line. Not one. No, not one. And I have been telling you that. And I could have been wrong. It doesn't mean I knew, but, I had indications. I said as long as Tehran, Connor, and Hunt were up, we had a kind of a shot, but I had to see how things played out. But this depth, or left guard and right tackle, how many times did you see Jackson get lit up? He had one good run block. It was a very nice run block for a first down, but he was beat for a sack. He was beat on the another play where it should have been holding, and the ball was getting out quick, and they knew that he could not block, and he could not run block for most of the game, and we signed him long term. And we signed Eichenberg. We drafted Eichenberg a second and third, made him our backup. And if you want to sum the whole game up, it's a picture of Eichenberg getting blown back into his face and him hitting him in the helmet with his hand, and the ball going out of bounds. That is a picture of this season. Everyone, Fangio sucks. Me, week one. I really love what this guy can do, man. I'm really excited. And against the Ravens, he's terrible. And then he does good against the Bills. He limits them with like nobody. And now he goes against KC and he limits them. At one point, it was 63 plays to like 23. Well, like 33, I think. This defense was on the field all day. Fangio was undergunned. And he kept things in play. And as I said, and I'm trying to find the image here. Hold on a second. Look at Barry Jackson. Just 7 touches for Tariq, Waddle, and Achane. Corrected last tweet. In 26 offensive plays. Miami with points on just 1 of 7 possessions. They simply can't score enough against good teams. That's pretty obvious by now. I've been telling you that for 7 weeks. It's not that we can't be good teams. It's that our offense can't beat good defenses. But now it's... Whoa, here we go.
Pretty close.
Shut the game off. It's not obvious by now. I cut the game off at 5 minutes because it was over. But you're hearing now, it's obvious by now that the Dolphins' offense can't score against good defenses. But I told you 7 weeks ago, and people called me nuts, hater, and whatever else. I serve you. If I don't continue this thing, that's fine as long as I'm honest and accurate, and I serve you, my Dolphins fans or viewers or whoever you are. I'm not here to be a hopium pimp. My accuracy is the best out there. And I'm telling you, this offense is soft. Too soft to succeed. And it's Chris Grier who built a team that cannot create tension. When you have an offense and everything is to the edge, into the deep, you could play your nickel defense and then play umbrella, and it all handles the same thing. It's about creating tension. If you could only be a one-dimensional run game inside and then have the pocket posts and the edge passes in the deep, it would be tension. And you would have success. But Chris Grier went ultimately speed, ultimately finesse, and ultimately soft. We do not have a left guard. We do not have a center right now unless we want to bring back wounded Connor. We don't have a right tackle, and we don't have a right guard unless we bring Hunt back. But that's not a given. He's a free agent. Somebody could bid tons. We're broke. I think we'll bring him back. But this offensive line will determine everything. Tua is a system quarterback. A system is built on the blocking. You don't need a top 5 run game or offense of line, but you got to be in the 15 to 10. This is bottom 5. And next year, it could even be worse. The defense, Fangio, I heard Fangio, he don't suck. Sloppy. We had all kind of penalties. Why? Because we got to run everybody in there quick and do all the motions and get all this finesse stuff and smoke and mirrors because we just can't go up there and call run a gap, pop them in the nose on occasion and have it work and get 4 or 5 yards. We can't do it. So everything's smoke and mirrors. So we're sloppy. Tua had his yips. Yes. Totally. You know, did he have a great game? No, he had some good plays. But there was no way. Look, We could have built like the 70s Dolphins that took a slightly above average quarterback with a good brain and good courage to guide an offensive line and defense and run game to a perfect season Super Bowl. Or we could design them like the 80s Dolphins with the greatest quarterback, thrower to football all time, and speed receivers who never won anything. Chris Grier decided to go with the 1980s version with a quarterback who's not equal to the guy who manned it in the 80s. This is stupid. Tight ends, blockers, running the football. We don't have Allen or Mahomes. But Breeze wouldn't have won in this system either. Go look at Peyton's calls with the Saints. He ran a lot inside. He had a good offensive line. He mixed it up. We don't. And McDaniel, get on top of McDaniel. Who hired him? Who gave him an offensive line that restricted his calls? Who made him be this finesse? Made him have this much motion? Made him throw the football that quick? Who? It's not you. It's not me. It ain't McDaniel. It's not Tua. It's not Fangio. It's the guy who built this team the way he did. 2 firsts on Waddle, a whole draft on Hill, plus tons of money. All the picks on Chubb. We went top heavy in talent. We lost some of them. And the weakness to right underneath because Tyndall, Easy, Cam Smith. We had Boner starting over Cam Smith. I don't know, maybe next year Cam Smith will be Deion Sanders. But it's got to start with the guy who created this whole thing. This offensive line can't protect long enough, and it can't run block. And that leaves the defense on the field. Yeah, Wilkins' penalty was, ridiculous. He was on the field for all day in freezing cold. It was like, 63? I got it right here. 63 plays. What is it? 63 plays to 33 plays. He was on the field 30 plays more than the other side. You don't think you're getting upset and frustrated? It was long gone before then. Hill, false start. If it wasn't for the big play, it would have been a shutout. And it has, I could take Tua, put him on the 49ers, and he would be like, oh, Tua's a really good quarterback. I could put Purdy here, and he would look like garbage. Offensive line makes the NFL world go round. We are not a good enough team. We're going into a cap-strapped offseason, and then we don't know what players we're going to bring back. We don't know when the players we have that are on the roster that are really talented, that are healthy enough to, when they're going to be ready. This is not going to be easy 24, and everything will fall on Tua and McDaniel. And then the media will strike up the tune. They'll be the ones to go get the head chop. Maybe we'll re-sign Tua to a long-term contract. McDaniel will fall on his sword. Grier will go with Fangio for one season, maybe extend him for a year or 2 or 3. And then will start all again with Grier on his 4th regime. That's probably what's going to happen. So you could say I'm a bad guy. I could be wrong, but I called this whole season. I said we'd win 9 to 11 games. We did. I said the offensive line, the depth, the deal. I've actually called like how the game's going to play out just about every single time, but like 2 games. I had one guy I really like, good friend or whatever. He's like, I don't really pay attention. I know what you're going to say. Go listen to somebody else going to say something else is wrong. I care for you. You're my family. You're the Phins. You're the suffering Phins like me for year after year after year after year. And they keep telling you the same thing. We got Sue. We're winning it now. We got Gase. He's the great. We're winning it now. Every time it's the same thing. We need a house cleaning. Ross did not get rid of Grier and the scouting staff. That's why it feels like the same. It's like I was saying it in a live before. It's like the old Talking Head songs. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it. Why? Same scouts, same owner, same style, same philosophy, same failure. We got to hope for next year because we're Dolphin fans. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see, guys. I will always serve you no matter what with honesty. I might be a jackass at times. I might get it wrong sometimes, but my accuracy and my honesty is pretty darn good. I care for you. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the sell jobs. How much did you hear this season that was wrong? Doesn't matter to be accurate. This is a rant, full rant, because I'm tired. I'm tired of it, just like you. Let's get ready for an off season, guys. Next year's our year. Believe, though, but also evaluate fairly. Curtis saying, catch you next time. Be well. Go Phins. Start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.